And we should be live.
See, I got it up on my other screen here. Oh
Live.
yeah, there we go.
Are we okay?
Oh, it's live.
You can see a video and everything?
Oh yeah, it's definitely your screen.
Alright, good.
Oh, and you immediately got audio going. Nice.
Yeah, I heard myself. I had to mute it pretty quick.
Perfect.
Should I just like start when even though there's no one watching?
No, I think you know, after the fact, after it's posted, we can go out and like trim out this beginning part.
Okay, cool.
It's actually pretty easy to do. There's like an edit video button right in YouTube.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. And I mean, it's as simple as just cutting out everything before,
Yeah.
welcome to Bogside chats and all that.
I don't know if you've noticed, but I've just been trying to pronounce welcome as weird as possible, like every time.
Oh, that's intentional? That wasn't just you being...
Yeah. I'm just trying to get to a point where it's not even recognizable as the word welcome.
Oh, that's good. That's
Yeah.
that's something to strive for.
One listening. Nice.
I think that's me.
No, it's me.
Oh.
Don't get too excited.
I mean, I have it on there.
Oh, okay. We're about to have two then.
Be sure to hit that like button.
Be sure to hit that like and subscribe.
So, how do you mute? So since you have OBS open, you have all of our mics muted on YouTube?
No, I mean I just have the YouTube. You just mute YouTube. You don't need to. There's no individual.
Yeah, I'm not sure I follow.
Yeah.
So, am I talking through? No, I'm not, because
You're talking
how
through
is my
Discord. We're
voice
getting the
getting?
audio through Discord.
Yeah.
Right. But why am I not coming through on YouTube? I probably am.
You definitely are.
I should probably send out a tweet, huh?
Did you throw it in the ADFK guy? Oh yeah, you did. All right, sweet. God, that 11 active quests is gonna bug me.
I needed something to be doing on video.
No, it's fine.
We're doing this. So.
It's just one of those things of like, when you have the like notification on your phone. You know what I mean? Like it's like a mental.
Yeah. No, I gotcha. It'll be cleared soon enough.
All right. All right. We ready?
Let's do it. Start the show proper.
Yeah. Welcome to Bogside Chats, where we're talking everything DeFi Kingdoms and keeping it casual. My name is Matty Pesk. I am joined by Franz and Guy Kid. Boys, how we doing?
Doing great. Excited to be back.
Doing well. Excited to get the live episodes back and no one go through and listen through the first 2 minutes of me talking to myself, but that's fine.
Yeah, we are live right now. I don't know if you're listening live or if you're probably listening as an episode later, but we are live on our YouTube, which is very exciting for us. It is also exciting, excuse me, that we are have a very special guest with us. Joining us from the ADFK Discord community is Kels. Kels, how we doing?
Hey, good evening. Happy to be here. Thanks for having me on.
Totally, yeah. So we're going to talk to Kels and kind of talk to him more a little bit later about some X-Earn, some guild wallets, botting, fun stuff. But we got a lot to talk about before then. There was an AMA today. Today is October 27th with some big news in it. And we were going to get to that big news, but let's... Shit. See, this is why I can't go live, because now I screwed up my whole opening.
You didn't make it any worse by stopping there. It's okay.
I meant to introduce Kels. Kels, give us a little bit of background about yourself and how you came to DFK.
It's all good, man. You're doing it live. You're doing it off the cuff.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, man, I guess I've been in DFK since like October-ish. Whenever it was like $6 Jewel last year, I watched the beginning of DFK when it first started, and I thought it was a rug at the time. It just looked too cartoonish to me and everything. And then I just
Sure.
watched it grow and grow. And then I said, yeah, this is something I need to get into. So I jumped in at $6. My first summon was $900. I remember it costing, and then I've just wrote it. I wrote it the whole time, and I've just begun further and further down the rabbit hole as I've gone.
Good stuff. Yeah, that was a little bit before us. I think we were, I was kind of like December. I think these guys were November-ish, so right around about the same time.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's good stuff. It was up more than.
A lot more up.
Yeah. All right. So before we get into all the AMA stuff, and Kels, you're gonna help us with that, right?
Sure, absolutely.
I do want to give a quick shout out here at the top. If you guys follow ADFK in their Discord, you might have noticed a recent announcement that the ADFK guys are forming a guild. And we have joined forces with them and are going to be in the ADFK guild with them. So it's still kind of early. We're still figuring stuff out. We'll definitely be updating everybody with more details. But if you're interested right now in checking that out, I would go to the ADFK Discord page. There's always tons of updates there, and you can find out more there. All right, so the AMA today, actually very interesting. Frisky Fox was not there. Usually he's kind of on point, but he was not there today, and Dreamer kind of led the way. So they had a couple of little announcements first. First, the artist NPC is going to be added to the builder website, so you can apply to be on the artist. And they mentioned us. They gave Bogside a little shout out there.
Yeah, that was
they've
nice,
moved,
huh?
Yeah, they've moved our co-marketing into the artist NPC. So, yeah, it was cool, and I think that's a good sign that we might be part of the artist.
Yeah, seems promising.
Yeah. So we'll obviously keep an eye on that. The second announcement they made that was interesting before the big announcement was they're going to be starting duels tournaments. So again, they're still in the early stages of this, and they've added a new page to the AMA page where you can ask questions and kind of say what you want the tournaments to look like. I think I'm excited in general because tournaments, like video game tournaments in general, is a thing I'm interested in. But I'm a little, hesitant on this because duels is so random feeling. I don't understand how there could be a tournament. Did you guys have any thoughts on this?
Yeah, I mean, so I'm trying hard not to be super bearish on this. But did anybody else when they announced this just get the feeling of well, what the hell? Why aren't these tournaments going to be for land and each a specific stat? Like what we've been
That's a
kind
good
of
point.
waiting for months and months. It seemed a little like Dreamer was a little tone deaf when he was going through this, right? Like we want land tournaments, and they were kind of talking this up as this kind of side thing, a foray into esports, which that's all well and good. I mean, I think that's good for the project, but when this was first brought up, I thought it was going in a different direction.
Yeah, I tend to agree with you. I think duels are just tough just because they are so, such a slot machine random thing that, and I shouldn't say that because there are specific players who are constantly on the leaderboard. So there is some level of competition that's part of it, but I don't have any excitement for this personally, but that doesn't mean there aren't players who are not interested, But
Yeah, I mean, everyone likes to compete. I think tournaments for overall is a good thing. I know our whole group is excited about the Fight Club tournaments, but
yeah.
adding something to make duels a little more interesting, I think is important. I'm just curious how they do some level of balancing with it, and how it's just not going to be completely dominated by bots.
Well, I
That's the
mean,
key.
sorry, go for it.
Oh, that's the key on there is the whole bots thing with duels. I definitely, I mean, if you follow how they release things, they do it in baby steps. They started with like the wishing well for quests, and then they went into profession quests. And I think with this duels, I mean, we're just taking baby steps into regular duels, and then duels tournaments, and that's just going to turn into more of a PvP, general thing. So I mean, it's forward progression, so I can't ever complain about forward progression.
That's a
Yeah,
good point.
That's
Yeah.
a key point. I agree.
the bot thing doesn't really worry me here because to me botting is more a matter of quantity, right? In a tournament setting, I don't really see an advantage unless there are multiple tournaments going on at the same time, and and it's allowing people to
Right.
be in all of them.
Yeah, well, so like if based on when tournament registration goes up, what's stopping some kind of multi account wallet or multi account person from taking 30% of their registration slots?
Okay.
As well as on the other side, maybe this is something a DFK group should consider. What's stopping people from consolidating heroes into one wallet to create an ultra team?
Mhm. Yeah, I mean, I know they have the cooldown to kind of fight against that a little bit, but will that stop people,
Duels,
especially
well,
in something?
duels doesn't have a cooldown.
It does, yes.
What's the cooldown on duels?
So when you found this out recently, actually, when you move a hero from one wallet to another,
I
there's
see
a
what you mean.
2 week
Right.
cooldown. Yeah.
Right. I see what you're saying. Yeah. Well, I mean, it's interesting, and I think, like Kel's point, it is forward movement. Hopefully, it leads to, something a little bit more competitive, in my opinion. But we shall see. All right, so we'll keep an eye on that. The big announcement from this AMA was dark summoning. So Dreamer said in his opening statement, or maybe it wasn't Dreamer, but dark summoning is going to be released next week, barring any, unforeseen delays. At the very top, we got a really cool little teaser from Sam, the guy who does the music. It's kind of this like evil, disturbing,
Oh, I should have had that
menacing.
up, ready to go.
Ah, that's all right. It was cool, but it's only like it's like 20 seconds, so it's just like a little snippet. Um, it's very cool, and we saw the art like prior. The art's really cool. It looks like this underground cultist thing. But then Hubert came on, and he gave a full breakdown on how it's going to work. Uh, Obviously, we knew this part. 2 heroes go in, they both are burned, and 1 is created. As a result. The price will be about 1/4, which I thought was interesting, especially when we're looking at older generations. Those prices start to get higher, so I'll be kind of curious on that.
Yeah, it's interesting because it offsets the cost of burning your heroes a little bit.
Right. Well, depending on your value, the value you put on your heroes, but the other big thing, level carries over. I really like this. So if you're burning 2 level 5 heroes, the one that is summoned can be leveled up to level 5 for free, which means you still get to do the meditation and pick the stats, but there's no cost to that. It's just like an automatic leveling up. The rarity chances are increased. So recently they did a special event where they doubled, or maybe not doubled, that's the wrong word, but they increased some of the rarity chances, and that's going to be kind of the baseline for these dark summoned. And then they said you could increase that based on how many summons the heroes have left that you're burning. So I hope I phrased that correctly, but basically increased rarity chances is the big pull there. There'll also be,
on top of that, the floor rarity.
Right, that was the next thing I was going to say. Yeah. So the basically the rarity floor is the same that you burn. If you burn 2 rares, the one that's summoned is guaranteed to be a rare or better. For every different tier there. The genetics will work the same, and the number of summons will work the same. So we've been looking forward to this. We've been kind of talking about it and theorizing a little bit. I think this is super fun. I like the way they set it up. I'm excited. How do you guys feel about it?
I think it makes a hell of a lot of sense. It's one of the big concerns we had about dark summoning is they kept referring to all these boosts that the heroes were going to get, and I thought we were concerned it would decrease the value of existing heroes that don't have the same boost. But
Mhm.
all of these boosts are still kind of level set to existing heroes. There's just a couple of things that you can kind of accelerate the growth or increase chance to rarity, things of that nature. But overall, I think this is very positive.
Yeah, I mean, well, I will also too. I should have mentioned this. You can use stones for the dark summons, which I know. I mean, it'll help a little bit, but
Yeah, that's good. I'm curious to think. Over the first 2 weeks, do we think Heroes Burned will be more or less than the Perilous Journey?
I think it'll be more. I think people are going to be amped up to burn their cheap heroes.
What did they burn in the Perilous Journey? What was the total amount?
I think it was right around 22,000. Does that
22,
sound right?
yeah, yep.
Yeah, I could definitely see that going pretty quickly.
I mean, there's what close to 400,000 heroes right now, right?
Yeah, minus the Perilous ones.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, exactly. So I mean, there's just so many heroes out there, and I think there's a lot of people that don't put value on their 0/0 summons heroes and their common heroes that I think people are going to start burning them up.
Yeah,
Well, I
I
can
mean,
tell you,
Go ahead.
if it's anything, I mean, if you look at like what we can see right now, like just Shavas runes in the last 6 hours have gone up 20% in price. So people are already preparing for those heroes they're going to get that are going to be leveled, that they have to level. If you look at the floor on these like rare heroes with no summons, those have been shooting up. It's people are you can already see it. People are excited about it, and there's definitely going to be a lot of action when it first opens.
yeah, I think the level gain is going to be something that people are going to get very excited about. I still I don't know that it's that big of an advantage, right? Because right now, besides duels, we don't really have, a reason to have those higher
Sure.
level heroes just yet. But besides that, like, so if I'm, and, help me out a little bit here. If I have two commons, right, I'm getting an increased chance at rarity, slightly.
Correct.
But
Yes.
besides that, it's just that in the levels, correct? Because
Depending on
And it's cheaper,
it is
depending on the
but
cheaper.
level you have, you can boost your increased rarity chances by the amount of level or by the amount of summons that you're. So if you
Okay,
have a common 10/10
right.
and it's called charging it, I guess is what they're calling it, and you
yeah.
charge it with all 10 summons, that's going to increase your odds of rarity. So yeah, but we don't
Okay,
know the exact numbers, but yeah, that's the
okay.
theory.
Yeah, they well, I should say that too. They didn't give us any specifics exactly yet. They sort of just, like I said, just gave us these kind of overarching how it's going to work. Numbers like that, and they actually Dreamer hinted at an infographic the team was going to release. So hopefully, maybe we'll get some specific numbers on this before it's released.
Yeah, the reason I was asking that is I'm trying to kind of put myself in the mind of someone that, or just think about it myself. Like, is it really worth it to start burning all of my commons, right? Or all of my,
Sure.
as we sometimes refer to as, our shit heroes, the ones that we really don't value too highly. But I think there's value in that quantity, right? Whereas if I
Yep.
start, kind of hedging those numbers down, I don't know that there's a benefit from on the lower end.
No, I think that's a fair point, especially if you're using them to farm and you're building up a collection of whatever items, or gold, or if they're miners, specifically. I think there's a really solid point to that. I think they wanted it to be a tough choice, though. They don't want it to be like everyone does this automatically.
Hmm.
Uh, but yeah,
Yeah.
I think that's a really good point. I don't know if it's worth it for the commons. I think I'll just say personally, I went out real quick and I found a couple like Dark Knight Paladin pairs at the floor that were
Nice.
0/0s that like I'm excited to do it, and because they were cheap, so I don't really feel like I'm gonna lose anything there.
Yeah, we have EM Ramdaz in the chat saying he's burning 200 heroes uh, in the Dark Portal.
Jeez.
So, right off the bat, he'll have 100 new, hopefully higher rarity heroes to work with.
And
I
that's,
think, yeah. Sorry, you got guy.
I was just gonna say that's kind of the question too, is like, should this be looked at kind of a mass summoning event, or should you be looking at your advanced elite plus heroes, maybe your higher rarities to make them even better. Like, are you more apt to dark summon your common basics or your elites?
I mean, for me personally, I'm not my elites and my advances. Well, other than like the floor ones I just picked up, they're not going anywhere.
Yeah, I mean, I think that it really comes down to a personal question, right? Like, for me, no, I'm not going to be burning too many elites because I only have a handful full of
Yeah,
dragoons and sages. So losing any of them, that's a hit for me to take. But someone else, like, say a King Baka or, one of the bigger whales, doesn't hurt them as much.
sure.
I think something that'll be interesting to watch. I don't know if this is still true, but I believe right when the pet burning came out,
Mhm.
the burning was actually outpacing the finding of new eggs, right?
Mm.
I don't know that that'll be the case here. I feel like it's kind of a different mentality with the heroes, but even if it's anywhere close, I mean, this is what
That'd
we've
be
been
great.
asking for with a hero
Yeah,
sync. You can go back about 7 or 8 podcasts, and we were saying, hey, we need some kind of hero sync. We need a way to kind of cull
right,
these
right.
hero numbers, and here it is.
No, totally. And I don't want to put you on the spot, but Kels, I saw a comment you made about potentially burning some higher level heroes in the ADFK guild talk that we had.
Yeah, so I mean, here's my dilemma is I have a rare Dread Knight and a common Dread Knight, both with one summon. I planned on
Ooh.
leveling 1 to 10 and 1 to 5, and then doing my
Sure.
summon and seeing what I get. This dark summoning thing now changes all that because now I say, do I summon them together like a normal summon and see what I get, and then dark summon them together, burn them, and then end up with possibly 2 Dread Knights like I had before? Do I take them as they are, both with one summon, dark summon them together, and use the overcharge with the one summon they have to increase the rarity odds? I mean, or they removed the restriction where you can't summon like related heroes, so I could summon them together and then use the offspring and then
Oh, interesting.
dark summon my common with whatever I get. There's
Hmm.
just a lot of different things I have to look at, and I mean it's Dread Knights, so you don't want to make the wrong mistake, with that, and I got to figure out what's the best play for that. It's just going to take some time to
It's going to be a
see what
fun EV calculation.
for sure. Yeah, I got to make the right call with that because that could be a very costly mistake.
Yeah, you're
I think,
also.
well, yeah,
You,
go friends.
no, I was just gonna say I know it's very far off, but having those, I have one dread and it doesn't have a summon. Um, but having those with that summon, if we get to the point of, you know,
Right.
of when the rest of the tree fills out, you're kind of giving up hope on that too.
That's true. Yeah, there's a lot that's going to go into it. I'm have to watch. I mean, because if there's a premium on dreads with summons, and I may end up just taking profits with that or something. There's going to be so many different factors that go into it. I just have to you know take my time with it and hopefully make the right call.
Yeah.
I think it's super interesting and obviously definitely update us, if you make a decision. But I personally I don't have any Dread Knights. I only have like a couple sages now at this point. I only have two sages, but I cannot imagine myself putting, no matter what the EV calculations are, is putting a Dread Knight through this dark summon. I just feel like that's such value lost. I don't know. I mean, because the Dread Knight is going to be good at no matter what they release in this game, the Dread Knight's going to be good at it. So I feel
For sure.
like hanging on to it has so much more value.
Right, but if you start thinking about it in a PvP way, I mean, there are days where I look at my common Dread Knight and it's like, you're just not going to be good enough. It's when you're playing with Dread Knights, you're playing with the top tier,
Sure,
and if you have a chance to get that legendary or, even mythic
sure,
Dread Knight, I
yeah,
mean, that's a top hero in the game. We're all here because we're gambling
Yeah,
degens, Let's roll the dice a little bit.
yeah, it's a very degen move, and that's why I'm saying like so if I think the worst thing that can happen, is getting like common Dread Knights, like you said, like it's a Dread Knight, it's the best hero in the game, but when it comes down to it, a common Dread Knight is not going to be like upper echelon when you're comparing it to the everyone
yeah,
else. So if I dark summon with it and I have increased rarity odds to get another another Dread Knight with a higher rarity. If it's a super degen move, but it's again, that's why we're all here. So
Yeah. It's very interesting. I mean, I don't, I should have had this stats up, but I mean, how many Mythic Dread Knights are there in
I only think
existence?
there's like a few. There's not many.
Like under 100, right? Under 50 even,
I
probably.
want to say there's less than like 10.
Whew.
Yeah, no, I
Damn.
definitely think less than 10. What's the best way for me to find that out now that the hero catalog isn't complete?
I'm pulling
I
I'm
don't
pulling it
know.
up right. I've got 3 that I pulled up on the catalog. Mythic Dread Knights.
Yeah.
I
Right.
pulled up
That,
3.
But some of the ones on Harmony
but
don't pop up, right?
that's just
Yeah.
Crystal Veil, right?
Oh yeah, yeah. Oh no, it's showing Serendale hero numbers.
Oh, it is.
Nice.
Yep. And I don't see any Crystal Veil
Oh,
hero numbers. I just
so did they update this then?
They must have.
Hmm.
That's sweet.
Okay. Very
Nope,
cool.
not in the patch notes anywhere. Sneaky.
They mentioned it that they had a fix, but yeah, they didn't. I didn't know they. Because I do know Dior. That was the first one.
Right.
I remember
that.
the
It was like
name.
announced. Yeah.
Well, while we have this
Yeah,
up now, I have to
Level
check.
16? Oh,
Yeah,
that's disgusting.
I have to check while I'm looking at this if we have any more. Ooh, there is another one. There's
What?
a elite subclass, Dread Knight.
Oh, wow.
So there was a 4th Dragoon made. I own this guy right here. So I think this one is new. This other common.
And there's no Dread Knight, obviously.
No Dread Knight. Although people have tried.
That's wild.
Actually, let me make sure that's still true. Yeah, no, that's still true. Yeah, I mean this Dread Knight Dragoon legendary might be best hero in the game. The salesman, who I think I know who that is. I'm not quite sure. This person is near the top of duels constantly, so
I would imagine, yeah.
yeah.
I mean, with
things perfectly aligned too. Strength and endurance and mining. Man, that's one heck of a
Yeah,
hero.
that's great. That's great.
You got him on strength so far. Are you a higher level now? Yeah, you're a
Are
higher
we
level.
considering stats here?
Yeah.
Just throwing this out there, mine does have an advanced ability as well, so no big deal.
Does he? No big deal.
We're getting off on a bit of a tangent though, Matt.
Yeah, bit of a
You wanna
tangent.
roll us
Bit
back
of a
in?
tangent. All right, yeah, I think
Once you start
let's
looking
do
at dreads,
final thoughts on dark summoning. I think for a lamb, for like a random few, I'm cool rolling the dice. I'm not going to do a lot though. What about you guys? Give me final thoughts, dark summoning.
I'm in.
Wow. Okay. Great.
Wait,
Yeah.
you're in? You wanna can you elaborate a little bit for
I will
with this
get-
being a podcast and all?
My participation will be just about the same level as in duels. I will make sure I get my participation trophy, and I will do at least one dark summon. Maybe go crazy and do 2 or 3.
Okay, so that's not in.
That's barely in.
Yeah, that's more out. All right, Kels.
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna partake a good amount. I'll probably, I'll probably do maybe 10 or 20 pairs with it. I will heavily consider this whole Dread Knight thing, although I just don't think that I'll have the fortitude to Dread Knights into it. But I will at least consider it.
Cool. Yeah.
France, you can do any?
I mean, I'm definitely gonna do a few. I'm gonna wet my
Mhm.
beak a little bit, but I think overall, I'm kind of thinking about it the same way as I was thinking about the pet burning. I haven't burned a pet yet. I don't plan on it. The more, pets that get burned, the higher value for my pets are. So same thing with these heroes. Just
Sure.
and I like the items. I have diff key running, so I have a bunch of heroes over there, just kind of harvesting items. And the stone carver was here last week or a few days ago, and I enjoy having everything I need for that stone carver and just making a lot of stones. As there's more utility for the items, I'll get to do more of that.
That's a very good point, and I think that is a great segue to our next topic, bots. So the ADFK Guild has opened up a wallet. Is that the best way to describe it, Kels? A wallet on Xearn.
I think
Or
the term they use is a hero bank.
a
That's what
hero bank? Okay. A hero bank on Xearn. Xearn is a site that provides basically botting services. Again, I might be calling that wrong, where you can pool your heroes together and they can quest sort of all built together, and then all the items are shared and sort of can be auctioned off amongst the people that are part of that hero bank. Now, again, this is my poor definition based on my understanding of it. But basically, this is a way to increase the value of guilds, kind of in general. So we brought Kels on because he's the one who did the research and looked this all up. So just on my definitions, general there, was I okay? Is that a good description of what's going on?
Yeah, I think you touched on the major points of it. I look at so Xearn used to be called DFK Earn. That was what they were
Right.
for. So if anyone isn't familiar with that, they were
Yeah.
DFK Earn. So now it's just Xearn because it's on both Crystal Vale and Sarandil. I look at them like it's kind of like a suite of products. They do have the botting services. They quest your heroes for you, but they also have things like they have an auto leveler, so you can level up your heroes. They have an auction system where like you can go bid on items. They have a P2P swap thing, so you can you can put up heroes that you can trade like a hero for like an egg or something. They have
Mm.
those kind of things. So they're constantly adding things too. So I look at them like they're a botting service, yes, but they're just a whole suite of DFK products.
Yeah, it's really cool. And one of my big questions is I've seen like several guilds or groups. Maybe I shouldn't call all of them guilds, but several groups have these like hero banks. And so they're sort of like take all comers, whoever wants to sign up, you're in. What is in it for them? They get a rake, right, of some of the quests. Is that right?
Yeah, correct. Xearn they provide the service, so they take a cut of whatever profits are made from the crystal or the items that get auctioned and the crystal that gets dispersed. They take a percentage. It varies depending on how many heroes you have in the bank, and then also depending on how the gas is like. It can be dynamic in that rate too. But yeah, they provide the service and they take a cut of that.
And so, we've talked a little bit about, Franz says he uses diff key. Is that how you pronounce it? I always pronounce it wrong.
DeFi, yeah.
Um, are these basically doing the same service, right? It's just like auto questing, right?
Yeah, the biggest thing I think the difference with like with DiffKey and the waifu bot or whatever, all those stuff are
Yeah,
bots.
yeah.
You're running a bot on whatever hardware you have, so that your whole wallet or whatever I guess is up for is if it gets compromised, you
Sure.
can that can be an issue. With the Xern bot, you are sending your hero to a guild wallet, so it's coming out of your wallet and it's going into another wallet. So the most that you can lose is that hero. If that wallet gets compromised,
I
you're
see what
only
you're
out
saying.
your hero, and you're not out your LP positions, your eggs, all that
Mm-hmm.
stuff. Now that's obviously that can be concerning that you're sending your hero out. You want to make sure you can get it back. So they have their own Discord. They say how you can interact with the contract directly to get your hero back if their front end goes down. So they have ways that if something were to happen to their website, you could get your heroes back. But it's just a little more of a isolation of protection from your wallet.
Yeah, that's cool. And I think we've talked about that on other podcasts of like the idea of adding your hero to another group or going directly from your, a wallet you control. Um, I think that's interesting, especially with a guild. I think when multiple people are sending it all in together, I feel like that makes sense because everybody only has a small contribution to the overall, so it's not as dangerous hypothetically if it were to get compromised somehow.
Yeah, correct. I mean, I would never send like my Gen Zeros over there or anything
Yeah,
like
yeah.
that, but yeah, all of my like questing heroes, I'd put them right into Xern and let it do all the work for me.
Yeah.
And so, all right. Well, sorry, go friends.
No, I was just gonna say that the team has mentioned something. They didn't mention in the AMA, but I did see a tweet that They were
Right.
looking
Well,
to
I was going
make.
to segue that now. Yeah.
Oh, did I cut you off there?
No, no, you're fine. You're fine.
Yeah,
Do it.
no, they've mentioned that part of the power-ups, as they're calling them, from owning or staking a certain
Procedural.
amount of
Yeah.
Sea Jewel would be complete auto questing. Um, more than just what we have now as far as the multi-quest option and stuff like that, like just legit auto questing, right? So my first thought was like, okay, do I need a diff key, right? Do I need any of these botting services, these DFK Quester, DFK Helper, all of them, which they're all great services. Um, the one that kind of seems like it might be able to weather that storm because of the guild functionality would be Exern, right? There's still a place
Right.
for that, even if everyone has their own auto questing. Is it as beneficial? Is it as enticing if we could just auto quest on our own? Maybe not, but from the guild aspect, it still makes sense.
So I think what we're doing differently with the Exern service with the ADFK guild is, I mean, if you're looking for pure returns, then this isn't the service that you want to do. You can, if you do it on your own, if you use a diff key, whatever, you're going to make the most. You're going to keep all your eggs, all your stuff like that. But we're trying to build this guild wallet as like kind of like, to benefit the guild as a whole, and then also provide services like with the actual ADFK site. I know pretty much everyone uses the site to compare their heroes and do all that stuff, but there's a lot of premium features on the ADFK site, like tavern alerts. There's hero matching features. There's all these things that are else on there that are more premium services that you have to pay for. I had mentioned, I talked to Nindorf and Raf about saying, hey, let's do something. If you're in the guild and you stake a certain amount of heroes with the guild wallet, then you get access to those features rather than having, because right now you have to pay. Like
Sure.
it's a formula. Like you send them crystal, you get access to the site, you get your alerts, all that stuff. Everything's great. But some people don't want to do that, or so they say, hey, rather than do that, you put however many 50 heroes or whatever. We don't have a number yet because we just started this, but you put 50 heroes in this Exern wallet, and then you get access to the site. So you don't have to pay for that. You get all those features, and then you also still get money back too because you're getting the crystal from the Exern, but we're also making profits for the guild in the guild wallet as well.
Yeah, I think that's really interesting, and I think obviously I'm very curious to see what the like in-game botting will look like, because I feel like it won't. Well, I mean, I feel like some of these services are going to be obsolete, right? Because if the in-game botting does the exact same thing, why would you go to a third party to do it? I think,
from a pure bot perspective, I think
yeah,
some services that are only pure bots, I think those will kind of go to the wayside because you won't need that. But
yeah.
if you're looking for like a guild thing, this is definitely, I think, like you said, this will weather the storm for sure.
I'm curious if they'll do some kind of handicap on the in-game bot in the sense of you'll get 80% of the rewards versus if you manually clicked or something like that, or if it's going to be the exact same rewards.
I don't know. I understand what you're saying because
Wait,
I know they're
I'm
trying
not
to
sure I
think
followed
of,
that. Say that one more time. So you're saying a
So,
penalty
so
for the auto questing?
imagine rather than a
basically, yeah.
foraging quest taking a minute, a foraging quest will take 48 hours, but if you send your hero on a 48-hour quest, the returns will be less.
Hmm.
I wonder if that's how they're gonna quote unquote create a bot.
Okay, I see what you're saying. I tend to think that there wouldn't be that kind of penalty because you're
Yeah.
essentially paying for it. I know you're not actually paying a subscription fee, right, by
Yeah.
staking that Sea Jewel, but you're
But by using the game, yeah, exactly.
right.
Yeah.
So my counterpoint to that is if the bot's fully efficient, do we have no timeline or chance of a champion system actually happening?
That's a
Well,
good
yeah,
point.
I mean, that's a good point. It's a separate point, but I think that seems to be something that they haven't talked about in forever. It seems to be not a priority. So I
Which
mean,
with everything going on, I get that that's
yeah.
not a priority. But I think that would completely derail the chance of a champion
Oh,
system.
completely. Yeah.
Well, I mean, I guess it would depend how high this threshold with Sea Jewel is. I think we're all kind of assuming it's
True.
attainable for all, but maybe it is on the higher side where that champion system kind of fits in below. Um, But I think it really comes down to kind of the age-old discussion that we've had with this game is that it's on the team to start making quests and different things to do that are not as easily bottable, right? That take
Sure.
some kind of
Skill and
skill.
not just clicking. Yeah.
Yeah.
Agreed.
So for profession quest, that's one thing. But I'm hoping, that first slew of PvE quests or whatever's next, takes a little bit more. I just
Was
got a
that a
great
level
level.
up
Yeah,
that
I just
just
got a
happened? I was
great
gonna
level
say.
up, by the way. That's
That thief
fantastic.
ninja, huh?
Yeah, little ninja sub. Very happy with
Level
it.
5 already at 20. Got 18 luck too. Look at you.
Very good.
All right. Well, I want to, Kels, I want to go back to you kind of as a final at the end here about X Earn. Um, we've seen, I think, 9 or 10 different groups have signed up with their guild wallets now, and there's kind of, I don't want to say friendly rivalry, but I mean, is there something on the site that's like, are these guilds in competition just from a numbers wise?
Well, I don't know if I'd call it competition. I mean, we're obviously there's a finite number of heroes out there, and that are all everyone wants to get them into their guild wallet.
Yeah.
But I'm in talks with the Primetime Guild, so the Team Goose Guild, some of those guys, and it's all like they're all the same kind of mentality as a rising tide lifts all ships. Like
Right.
like I'll go to Primetime and I'll say, hey man, how did you do this configuration? What are you doing for this? And he's got some great ideas, and he's like, hey, use this and it'll help you, with that and stuff like that. So like I haven't. I mean, I'm sure there's some of the guilds are probably a little more competitive than others, but none of the ones that I've interacted with have been standoffish at all. Everyone just kind of wants to see this whole thing work out, and like I said,
Totally.
it'll help everybody.
I think so too. I think everyone right now is just kind of like optimistic and pumped up to be like to get the guild stuff going, and then once it's like established, that's when all bets are off. Right now we're still just trying to gain that momentum and get everybody involved. But I'm ready. I'm ready for the challenge.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. I think everybody is. I think
Yeah.
and I think this is a great tool. Like it just builds a guild economy too. Like, because I think there's so
Yeah.
much, and if you talk to like Raph and Neindorf about, like, they're already thinking like way ahead. Like they've already got land and they're already planning this stuff. And I think a in guild economy is going to be like a huge thing, because I'm sure this stuff like building buildings and stuff it's not gonna be cheap, and all that all that
No.
stuff. So
Yeah. Well,
any kind of
and this is maybe I shouldn't share this. Neindorf might get mad at me, but I saw a rumor of a guild token that like I lost my mind.
Interesting. Yeah, I
I
mean
know.
that's a possibility. I mean, it's crypto, right? Anyone can make a token. Sure, I could see something like that happen. I mean, we're just on the ground floor of this guild stuff, and I mean, we've
So
already
exciting. Yeah.
the game hasn't even done any much for guilds, and we've kind of done all this organically. Imagine once the game
Right.
starts
Yeah.
like features for it and stuff, it's gonna just go up from here.
Yeah, I think it says a lot about the community overall too. Is like people just want to be engaged, and I was kind of blown away how quickly we got this DFK Earn wallet up. A lot of people just said they wanted to contribute to the guild, and I think that's awesome.
Yeah, I mean, the conversation when we first were thinking about it was, all right, why would people put their heroes in this, right? And day one, it was packed with heroes.
Yeah, I got a lot of messages that first day from people. They're like, "What do I do? Why would I do this? I can make more, crystal if I just do this on my own." And I tell them, I'm like, "Listen, this isn't a product that if you're going to use it and it's going to be all about making your crystal, you'll make more in other services. But this is, if you want to benefit the guild, if you want to see this kind of grow and level your heroes, without you having to do anything, then this is where you want to be."
Yeah, I think it's very exciting, and I think talking about community is a great segue to our final subject we're going to talk about tonight. I am very excited to announce that Bogside Chats is going to be hosting another DFK Fight Club tournament.
What?
I'm going to send it over to Guy for the details. Talk to us, guy.
Yeah, so it's gonna start next Thursday, and shame on us, we haven't gotten our registration sign up out. I
By the
promise
time people listen to this, it'll be out.
that's the plan. I don't think I'm gonna go to bed till I get a registration. That's my goal. We were trying to think of the Baby Cup tournament just worked so well. So we really wanted to kind of follow that same breath and format. So we're just gonna go up a weight class one and we're gonna do a lightweight tournament. And so how the hero levels work with the lightweight tournament is no single hero can be more than higher than level 4. And then your team of 3 needs to be a combined level of 8. So when you're thinking through the different combos, you can do like a 3-3-2, you can do a 4-2-2, just to give you a couple ideas. When it comes to the tournament bracket perspective, we wanted to give newer players a chance to play more matches in the tournament. So what we're going to do is the first round of the tournament is going to be a kind of a group stage. It's basically going to be a double elimination in the sense of if we get up to 64 people, we'll break the brackets into groups of 8. And then within that group of 8, if you lose, you're going to play another loser within your group to the point where out of that group of 8, 2 people will move on to the next round. Is that right? Or is it groups of 4? Did I just completely butcher that,
Nope,
France?
you got it. Groups of 8.
Awesome. So really what we just want to do is if people lose their first match, we want to give them a chance to play someone else that also lost their first match and just give the newer players a chance to get more at bats, as well as in the early rounds having less kind of luck built into who moves on from each of those early rounds as well.
Very
From
cool. So it's kind of like a World Cup double elimination hybrid thing.
Yep. Yeah, in the World Cup, everyone plays everyone twice. We're not going to do that many matches because then this tournament bracket would take as long as the World Cup, which is months.
Yeah.
But at least give a couple more matches in the bracket. So due to that, we're going to extend the window from Thursday to Monday rather than from Friday to Sunday, with the
Makes sense.
hopes of the group stage finishing Friday, if not early Saturday.
Yeah, the goal would still be to do the semis and the finals that Sunday night, but if it extends into Monday, I mean, it's the first time. We're trying something new with every tournament, so bear with us a little bit. But I think this is a good time to put Kels on the spot. Kels, you haven't played in one of these tournaments yet.
Ooh.
Can we count you in for this next one?
So I knew this was going to come up because I know you guys had reached out. You guys had reached out to me for the Baby Cup, and I said I would do it, and then the whole Discord thing has been like, I got into Discord with crypto, and this is all like new to me, and then so they're doing the whole Discord fighting.
Uh-huh.
I didn't grasp the concept until I watched this video that you guys just put out, I think a few days ago.
What a great segue.
Giving us the plug. I love it.
Yeah.
I love it.
That video was fantastic, and I was like watching it, and I was like, oh man, this is a lot easier than I thought. And I was like, oh, I've got a good heavyweight team, I got a good light heavyweight team. I was already picking these guys in my head. So yes, absolutely, you can count me in, and I'm definitely going to have that AI team so I can start getting those raffle tickets in the future too.
Yeah, coming soon. Awesome. Yeah, when you started that, I was like, wow, he's going to say no to me live on the air. I thought I had him cornered. But no, no.
I am in this time. I'm definitely in.
Awesome.
Franz, one piece of clarification I need from you. For each round still going to be best of 3.
Yeah, yes.
Are we going to do 2 separate teams of 3, or is it still going to be you have 6 heroes on your team and you can pick any 3 across your 6?
Right. There was some talk about potentially making it that you had 2 separate teams and you had to use each once within that, best of 3, and then for the third game, pick whichever you like better. That seemed like a little bit too much. We're changing the format around with the bracket, so that's something that we might add in the future. But for now, we're just gonna keep it simple. It's a team of 3. You have up to 6 heroes you can pick from. Use them however you like.
That's called something in Magic: The Gathering that I should know, like where you have to.
That's where,
like,
hat tip to Bob Nothing. That's where I think it came from.
It's like if you win with one deck, you have to play another deck. It's called like some tournament format. I forget. I should know, but I don't.
Yeah.
All right, very cool. Do we have dates for this guy? Like official dates? I know you said Thursday to Monday, but what are the
So
like?
that would make it Thursday, November 3rd
Okay,
to Monday, November 7th. Check those
excellent.
calendars.
Coming up soon.
Yeah, I think we're gonna do a 15 crystal
Okay.
entry fee as well, so that'll generate a decent prize pool. We've already heard from a couple people that are gonna donate some prizes as well. The Bogside crew is gonna donate a Gen Zero summon to raffle off
Very
a
nice.
Gen 1. Justice Beaver's actually donating a legendary pet as well as
Whoa, Mythic Squad shout out.
yeah. Yeah, so excited for that. He's got a legendary pet. I think it's got a 2-star combat. We'll post the pet IDs in the notes. And then Sergeant Filthy McNasty is donating a couple eggs as well.
Awesome.
Ooh.
Love it. All great, guys.
You guys can count me in. I'll donate a Gen Zero summon as well. I got a.
Whoa!
All right.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Wow, look at this, making things happen.
What combo do you have there? What classes?
It's a wizard and a priest.
Okay. Very cool, because we have the Thief Archer, so we'll get a little some options out there for
Oh.
people.
Awesome.
That is super exciting. Oh, sorry, go guy.
Yeah, Sir Worm's in the chat too. He said he'd throw in another Gen Zero summon like he did last time as well.
Jeez.
Love it.
And I'm trying to remember what the question Sir Worm had from the tutorial video that we had. I did respond in the tutorial video. Basically, the question he was asking was if you have an AI loadout built in.
Oh, right. Yeah.
And that hero gets leveled up, what happens to that loadout? And as long as you don't touch that loadout at all, that loadout will stay there in perpetuity. If you go change any of your loadouts with that hero in it, then it will force the Discord server will actually recognize it, and then your AI team will basically be DQ'd because you'll end up in a different weight class, and it'll just go grab another AI team.
Wait, does it stay there without the level up then? Like that hero stays as whatever level it was.
It stays as a level 2
interesting.
Unless you change your AI build.
Oh, cool. Yeah, that's going to be interesting. And the team has said to us that raffle tickets are going to be happening soon, or not to us, but we've heard through the tile lists and stuff like that the raffle tickets are happening soon. And when that happens, it is going to be a lot of fun to be doing these AI battles. So I'm excited about Fight Club.
Yeah, I think we all are.
All right. Unless I have any other last minute comments here. No, perfect. Thank you for the silence. This has been Bogside Chats. I want to thank our guest, Kels, for coming out and talking to us about Xern and talking to us about all this fun stuff. Kels, thank you for coming on.
Hey, thank you for having me. It's great to have these chats.
Of course. So my name is Matty Pesk for Franz and Guy Kid. We'll see you guys next time.
Thanks,
See ya.
guys.